I've been taking the week to contemplate a thought, and that thought is sometimes the things that we read in the Bible might just sound like utopian or completely unattainable, a bit like a children's book. And I'm not trying to slander at all. The scriptures are truth. They're our guideline. They're our guidepost. But when you think about what First Peter 3:8 says, it says, finally, all of you be like-minded. When I look around and I see election season and I see how divided we are and how quickly we just kind of section off into factions, it seems nearly impossible to think about us uniting around a thought or a cause. So that's why Peter doesn't stop there. Peter, under the tutelage of Jesus, learned that we're to love our enemy, and to love your enemy means to be selfless. So he writes, finally, all of you be like-minded, be sympathetic, be loving of one another, be compassionate, and be humble. Do not repay evil with evil, insult with insult. On the contrary, repay evil with blessing. And so he is telling us that Jesus taught him specifically that the only way to be able to unify in thought, mind, or love someone else the way that God did, it is to completely abandon self. It is to be humble enough to lift their needs above your own, taking their needs into consideration more so than what you want. And it's at this point alone can you be sympathetic, compassionate, love them the way they were intended to, and humbly come around them and unite to them with cause. Jesus' letter right here is to the church through the hand of Peter. And so just like Jesus expected of Peter and his disciples, he expects it of us today, his church, that we would love one another, brothers and sisters, with a heart that pursues Jesus, one that is unified in mind and in one accord. But he also expects us to even love those who hate us, those who would insult, those who would throw cursing upon us. He asks us to be a blessing to them as ambassadors of his very kingdom so that they might have hope, that we're to love even our enemy like Jesus did, abandoning our wants because their need is him. So if they're going to see him, it's going to be through the way that his church loves and abandons its own desires to pursue his desires, which he gave his life so he could have them, those who do not know him, for himself, and they could be united to him and reunited to other people. So the goal of the gospel is to reconcile people to Jesus and to one another. And his church, if you're about anything else, you're missing it. We are to be about reconciling people to Jesus and to one another. And the only way that's found is by humbly lifting their needs above our own wants. It's not utopian. It's his very call, and it is attainable. It can be accomplished, but only by us yielding to his spirit and his will. So today I hope that you rest in his love, that you also offer his love, and I hope to see you Sunday, 10:30, at the corner of South New Hope and Central Pike. See ya.